Good evening, my stamping friends. My name is Marilyn. I'm coming to you from Spruce Grove, Alberta, Canada. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator that loves to create cards and other paper crafting things and share them with you. So I welcome each one of you, each and every one of you, whether you've been here before or whether you are returning, you're always welcome. And I hope that you will stay with me for half hour or so that I usually do on Thursdays. Today is Thursday, September 14th. And I have a neat fold with a new bundle to me that I'm going to share with you tonight. And I hope it's going to show you how much fun that particular set can be. So before I start with that, I would like to just give you a few things that are happening in Stampin' Up! World. We, of course, have the new mini, we have an annual catalog, we have online exclusives, we have a new card kit. We have a new card kit every month, so keep an eye out on that. You can see those all online. And World Card Making Day is coming October 7th. Everyone, whether you're a demonstrator or not, is welcome to register and attend. It's free, put on by Stampin' Up! You will find 3 stamp sets. Actually, I think it's 3 bundles that are in there that they are going to use. One of them is in the new mini that's going to come out in January. So if you're interested at all in any of those, you can get them. They also have on there a list of supplies that you need if you want to make the cards along with them. So reach out if you don't have information on it. It was in my newsletter. It will be. Just let me know, and I can certainly share it with you. I don't mind doing that at all. And Paper Pumpkin, of course, every month comes out with a new kit. This one is a Christmas kind of one. So you will definitely be getting ready for Christmas if you get that one. And I know a lot of people are excited about it. I haven't watched the preview video that we get a chance to, but I will in the future. So other than that, I'm going to go to comments here in a moment, but I just want to share these things with you like I usually do. Zoom with Friends class I have on Fridays. I host it on Zoom, obviously, the name. I do all my classes on Zoom, so anyone's welcome to join this. I do not advertise the link publicly, but I will put you in an email so you can get the description of what we're going to do and cut your cardstock if you want to stamp along. If you want to just come and enjoy a big fun laughter time with all of us, you're welcome to do that as well. So let me know. I have a 12-month of Christmas card class the second Thursday of every month. We had that today and created 3 cards, which I will show you at the end. I have a monthly card class the third Thursday, and that is next week. For those 2 classes, the Christmas card and the monthly one, I do send out kits anywhere in Canada. But if you are anywhere in the world, you can get the PDF, pardon me, and join us on the Zoom thing too. So just let me know. I'm always anxious to meet new people, and that's a good way of doing it. So, okay, I'm going to switch you to my desktop so you can see what I'm working on and just quickly go through the comments in case there's anything I have to I see Marie, Betty, Gail, Bonnie, Sharon, Linda, Kathy, Betty. Oops, just a sec. I have to go back here and take this one out because I do want to share some of these. Again, a reminder that if you are on YouTube watching, you will not be able to see the comments by people on Facebook and vice versa. Anyone on Facebook will not be able to see the ones on YouTube. And I can show them like this because I get to see both. Hello, Kathleen. That wasn't the one I was trying to hit. It was this one. Sorry. Good to see you, Kathleen, though. Betty, just put in my second order of this week. The bones dies arrived early and I didn't want to miss them. Yes. On that note, some of the items in the Stampin' Up! World have been unavailable. And I know the paper, the fall paper, I'm going to call it. I don't remember the actual name of it. I did manage to put in an order where I got that, and it was all of a sudden it was not available again. So I know some disappointed people, but just keep trying and keep checking, and things will be there eventually. I see Stacy, Gail, Maggie. Good you're back, Maggie. Good to see you. Good to see all of you. Okay, my question, as always, I have a question that I try to spur the comments with. And tonight, as I was getting ready, you can see I do have the truck punch, which is not available now till October 16th. I did just look that up. And my card has trucks on it. Thus the heading, come and see how I make a truck stay on a floating diamond. As I was doing this, I thought, it reminds me of a farm truck. I grew up on a farm. We had to drive a truck for dad out in the field. And it was a good place to learn, of course, out in the field. But how many of you on here know how to drive a standard? Because most of the trucks on the farm were standards. And who taught you? Who taught you how to drive it? Did you learn on your own with lots of jerking and whatever, like I did? Well, no, I didn't learn on my own. My dad, my mom, um, were very patient with me. And one story, and I love to have you share stories as well. But I remember my dad, when I was learning how to drive, we had it was a four-door car, and where we lived, mom and dad drove us to school and picked us up. So coming home was always, whoever was learning how to drive got to do the driving coming home. So this day it was my turn. I'm driving, come home, get in the yard. Dad says, drive it in the garage. I said, Dad, I can't. He said, yes, you can. If you're going to drive, you're going to drive it in the garage. So I tried. I started into the garage and I heard this. And we got inside and I said, told you I couldn't. And there was a piece of trim off of the car. But he did let me drive again and he kept teaching me. So I'm proud to say that I can drive a standard. I'm a little bit rusty at it, I guess, like the rusty trucks. But it comes back. It's just like riding a bike. You remember how to. So good to see some comments on there. And I will go back and read them all, but I'm not going to do that. And hopefully everybody, you can keep chatting with each other. So any questions you have from the mini catalog, be sure and pop them in there and I will get back to you. But this is the set. If you haven't seen it already, it is a two-step. You can see how these match each other. This goes on top of that, and then some great words. And it is photopolymer. So you can see, I'll show you, I will stamp a couple to show you how it is quite easy to line up those trucks. And then, like I say, I was lucky enough to get the punch. And as I was looking at it here tonight and getting ready, I noticed, and I know I've mentioned this before, but I'm just going to bring it to your attention again. When you get a punch, they recommend that you take it and punch it just on plain computer paper or whatever, because there's oil in it. And I'm going to hold this up here because I think you can see it. Do you see this little edge along here on my label? It's oil. So obviously I did punch it a couple times, but maybe not enough. And there's some oil that still came out. So you want to be aware of that in case you're using paper that you can't redo it. I mean, I usually have lots of paper. So when you have the punch, you've got a window. This would be a hubcap, the truck, and a fender. I, so far, have only used the truck part of it, but I do intend to use more. Hello, Judy. Glad you're here. Sorry you had trouble getting on. So this card, I think, has been around for a while. It's called a floating, what the heck, triple floating diamond card. I found it on Lisa's Stamp Studio, but there's lots of people that have it. You can, when you're done with it, if you measure correctly, fold it up and it goes in an envelope. It does stand up, and I've put paper on the back to and how I made it. Hello, Ines. I missed you at card class today. Maybe next time, eh? So that is going to be, well, maybe I can just leave it with it. Today's card, I decided I'm going to make in red and white. So I have 2 pieces of real red, cut it, pardon me, 4 by 8. And these measurements are from Lisa's Stamp Studio. It is scored at 2, 4, and 6. So that's my 2 pieces there. Then I have 4 white that are 1 7/8 by 3 7/8, and on top of them, I'm going to put this designer paper. So those are 1 3/4 by 3 3/4, so just a little bit smaller, and that would be like I've got here. And the designer paper I used is from the Regal's pack of this year, this annual catalog. So I'm trying hard to use either stamp sets or papers from both catalogs when I do my cards. Then I also need the diamonds. So there's 3 of them, and these are cut at 2 7/8 square. The white that goes next. Okay, there's a red, there's a white for a layer, and that is 2 3/4. And then we have, I picked a different color designer paper, which is 2 5/8. So just a tiny border around each of those. So I probably should have glued them all so you didn't have to watch me do that, but let's chat while we're doing it. And then I'll go into cutting the base and how we're going to put it together. And I'm going to try and read some of these while Kathleen took a driving lesson. Ines, sorry, you weren't feeling well, is why you didn't watch or come to our card class today. Judy, you said you had trouble getting on. I don't know why. I did hear, I've been reading on Facebook, some people having difficulty with, I think it was Zoom to Facebook. So I did try the StreamYard, which is what I use, earlier today, just to make sure. You can see that's just a tiny border of each of them around, okay? And on this one, when I did it, there is a directional, but I don't think it turned out too bad that way. That's the one thing when you're dealing with diamonds like this, or squares turned into diamonds, as you can relate to, that sometimes directional paper is not the best for that part of it. Kathleen, I'm just going to pop that one on because, oh, that one's hardly any room. This is what I'm answering with Kathleen while I'm trying to fix what I just did here. Still haven't received a catalog. I can pop one in the mail to you, Kathleen. I do have extras here. And, well, it should be to you within a week, I would like to hope. Although Betty will vouch that sometimes Canada Post isn't very good with that kind of thing, but I can do that for sure. So, as I see you coming on, I see some of you have learned to drive a standard. Do you still drive a standard? A few years ago, well, quite a few years ago, our son and his wife bought a standard, and we were going on holidays, and we had a van. So I had to leave the van here for them to load up to leave the next day. And I was taking our daughter to soccer in Sherwood Park, I think it was. And I took the standard. Well, my daughter thought she was never going to get there. But by the time I got home, I was quite good at shifting again. So Dad's training came through again. 3. Okay, there's 3 diamonds on the demo card, Ines. Is that what you're asking? There's a number of layers, and I'm piecing these together so I can show them to you. Hurry, not likely, only automatic for me. That's kind of my attitude now too. I can drive a standard if I have to. When our daughter was getting her first car and going to university, she said, "Dad, I don't care, I just need wheels." So he bought her a standard. And as it turned out, it was a really good move because she was the designated driver when she went out with her friends. And she knew how to drive a standard if somebody had, well, she had one, but if somebody else was driving, she also knew. So I felt quite confident with that happening. Kathleen, Kathleen, do you have an annual catalog too? Or are you missing that one too? That would be terrible. Okay. I'll go back and read all of those comments afterwards and answer. So on my, whatever this was, 4x8, is that what I told you? Yes. I have marked, and again, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to, oh yeah, there's a little pencil mark at the 2 on either end. And I'm going to cut from that to there. I want a point, which will be this kind of point, okay? So I will line it up in the track. No, if I get it to where it should be, just like that. And I'm going to cut from starting with the blade in the middle so that it doesn't bunch up on either or side. And the same from this side. I think you can see what I'm doing. If you have any questions, be sure and let me know. And I do not save these. I know you could, but I have quite a number of scraps as it is. And I can't think of anything I'd use it for right now. So Ines, this card I started with, I see your question about what size is the base. It's 4x8, scored at 2, 4, and 6. And it is taken from Lisa's Stamp Studio is where I found it. There are lots of demos that do show how to do this. And of course, each one of them decorates a little bit different. When I first saw it, I thought of the truck. I thought, oh, I wonder if I could make the truck fit on there. And then last week, and I will show you that card at the end as well, in our Zoom with friends, Karen taught us a different type, similar but different. And I used the truck bundle for my card on that one and was really tickled with how it worked. And like I say, I have had the bundle for a while, just haven't had time to get to making anything with it. So this was kind of perfect. And it tested what I was doing for the okay, Stacy is saying you could use the triangles for layers for a Christmas tree. I guess you could. So what's going to happen is that you're going to end up folding these. Never remember which way I had to fold them. Okay, this one goes this way, this one. It doesn't really matter because you've got to fold them again. But I'm just going to fold the two ends for now. And my magnetic bracelet is picking up everything. And we have to put them together. So they're going to go together like this. Let me see. And one of the things that, yes, yeah, I knew, Stacy, you meant the scrap pieces. One of the things that she did in the sample was turned it over and put a piece of, I think she had Post-it tape. I'm just going to use a couple of Post-it notes because I have a few. And that will hold it together. Then on this side, we want one of these to go like this. And line it up as best you can. But because I've got this is red and this is red, if it's not quite perfect, which is sometimes really difficult to get when you're dealing with cuts and folds and everything. So that's the first step, is to adhere that. And I can see my folds there are a little bit off, but let's see. Might need some trimming, not sure. So if you've made these before, be sure and pop on and comment as to what worked and what didn't. I'm going to hold it up so I can see that it's centered. And this is where I'm saying it might need just a little bit of trimming because, but once I get it there, I do not need the Post-it notes anymore. I'm just going to leave them for a little bit because that should hold it. And these are going to fold up. So I may end up having to, so then I'm going to burnish the rest of them. And this one's going to fit. So it's really, other than getting everything cut, it's not a difficult card to me. Just like the one that Karen taught us on Friday. It was pretty awesome. So hello, Brenda. Welcome. My question tonight was, make Stacy, you're full of good ideas. Make red heart confetti for a card. Yes, you certainly could. My question was, because I'm dealing with trucks, do you know how to drive a standard? And if so, when did you learn and how did you learn? Well, maybe not when did you learn. That's some of us, it's a long time ago. So these pieces then go here, just for some background color. You could certainly use just designer paper. I myself like, I'm going to just do it this way, like the white behind it. The white is purely Canadian, obviously, but I like it. So that was my choice. So I'm going to put all of these on. And like I say, you guys keep chatting. As most of you know, I do a draw at the end of my Facebook Lives. Anybody who comments, and it only once, you don't have to comment lots because your name only goes in the draw once, but I have a piece of this program that does do the draw, and I give away 5 cards. Maybe you saw recently this week, yesterday, was my Stampin' Up! Anniversary, and 16 years, still having fun, loving it, love meeting all you people. And I received an email from a customer saying, you must have a lot of cards after 16 years. Yes, I do. But I do share them, as you know, and I love sharing. So then basically these other diamonds get placed on here, and then we can decorate. And I have a couple things to share with you on how I did the trucks. And like I said, I will show you how I stamped one of them. And again, I'm just gonna, whoops, hold that up so that I can put it on there fairly straight, relatively straight. And on this side. So keep commenting to each other. That's great. And I hope that you will try, if you don't have, oh well, most of you probably don't have the truck punch because of its scarce, it's a scarce commodity. But think of something else that you could put on there. I know I've seen some with flowers of all kinds. Again, there's the one I did there. So when it came to stamping the truck, I have done a few things. I'm going to do this. Marie, I like that question, Marie. And you know what? I don't think I have any of my first ones. Marie's asking me, after 16 years, have I looked at any of my first cards and compared them to what I'm doing now? I can tell you for sure that I'm doing more detailed things now than I ever did. I did do, hello, Karen Garner. I did do a number of scrapbook pages. I had a scrapbook club for a while. And once Stampin' Up! Quit selling 12 by 12 paper in multi-pack or in big packs, only multi-packs, I kind of gave that up. But it was just too much. But I'm still loving all of it. So, okay. Now, Betty's question, are the pieces you're putting on the right to the edge of the card base? They are right to the edge of this card base, if that's what you're asking, Betty. And if not, I'll get back to you more. Karen, good to see you, even if it's in the middle, don't worry about it. Maggie's saying, how about monkeys or birthday pig? Yes. How about those, what's that one? I don't have it, but the chickens kind of thing. So I did some stamping and I was testing this. These are on white. This is copper, just straight copper and the wheels. This one is copper stamped off once and then sponge dauber green along the bottom. I really, I'll hook it up a little bit so you can see. I like the way that looks, kind of rusty. And then this one is done on pebbled path, and the same idea, the copper stamped off with the green. I was trying to, and then we'll come up with something like this. These are, you can see they're a little bit shaded at the bottom. Well, hopefully you can see. And then the wheel stamp, I figured that one out finally. And tonight, as I was getting ready, I thought, what about like a Stella in for the windows? So that's what I did there. But I have my daubers here, and I'd like to know from you how you store your daubers, if they're all just in a big pile. Do you label them? Do you keep one for each color? I'm really struggling with this. So those are my other samples. Now I need to show you. For this one, I am going to use red. I've stamped some red ones, and I have stamped one with the tree that's going to go in there. These are the red full strength and stamped off. And I want to show you how it works, which just a sec while I grab a piece of cardstock. These daughters are stored like mine. Okay. And Kathleen has a case like mine. Good job. My case came from a friend who was making them with a 3D printer, and she asked me for some daubers to use. And then when it came back, I had the case, which was really nice. So what I did is the base or the outline of the truck, just in black. And thought I was being smart on these. I did these, and then I went to do this way, and I thought that's not going to work because the punch is going to punch out up here. So I had to stop black ink on me. Had to cut it off and use my Post-it note to hold it in there, but it did work. And then when you take the red, it really is quite simple to line up. Let's see if I can share that with you and not get my head in it. The red is solid. We were talking today in the class about photopolymer stamps. No, I'll try and keep my somewhat my finger out of the way. I line up the window, whoops, and then the wheel red. Nope, that's not quite straight, I can tell right now. It's not bad. And I don't mind the mottled look, but for these solid stamps like this, they recommend, a few people have recommended, using your finger just to rub over them before you ever use them. And it takes off, again, not oil like the punch, but whatever the making the stamp set, there is something left on there yet from when they punch it out, and that will take it away. So then this lines up with the bottom of the wheels and the center. Isn't that neat? I just thought it was really. Then, if you really want to get, there's all kinds of pieces. Where did my stamp set go? Here. Yeah. Yes, Betty. The other thing we talked about was cleaning your stamps, and this is Betty's comment, don't lick them. Oh, Betty's stamp case for the daubers came from Amazon. Okay. But there are, like, all of these will fit in the truck. So if you see on this one, what I did was I put the Christmas tree in the truck, and it's at an angle already. The for the back of this card that I'm doing tonight, I have stamped the gifts. And I didn't, like, they would fit in the back of the truck, but because I was putting them on here, I just made sure they were down at the bottom of the pieces. So lots of different things you can do with it. So any questions on stamping with that truck? It like I say, I think it's quite neat. Quite neat, and hopefully it gives more of it. So next. Okay, Kathleen, I still have loads of love set and the accessories. I think I could use some of those pieces. I'm sure you could. Yeah, it's just a matter of putting your thinking cap on and figuring it out. I think I'm going to just use glue on this one. Can you see what I did? I first of all had that up there and I thought, well, that's not going to work. My tree isn't going to fit. So I used the other side. I hope you do that. I hope you don't throw it away just because one side didn't work. And that's the other thing, which Karen reminded us when we did the card on Friday, is the biggest thing when you're dealing with diamonds is that your greeting has to go here. So that okay. How did I I knew I had two trucks. One one's on the floor. So I used dimensionals, just a couple on those guys. And now I don't know, Ines, what dark truck you're talking. If you're talking on here, yes, they are on colored cardstock. Okay. It, like I say, I just think it's, well, I could have kind of have a vested interest because of the farming background and whatever, but I can see if any of you have made waterfall cards, can't think of the name of them. I could see doing that. I've seen people doing 29 cards with like 5 different colored trucks on it. So there's the front of my card, which does stand up yet. And I don't know if Karen's on here, but I know that's important to her. And Carolyn. I think I'm going to put these on this way, and this would be where I would write to and from kind of thing. And I did not do anything other than the Wink of Stella, but I do have that here, so I'm going to have a look at that. And I do keep Wink of Stella in my toolkit that's always on my desk because it has it is an easy tool to use to add just that little bit of shimmer to your card. So there's the back and the front. And there is the one I did earlier. And Wink of Stella isn't really going to do much on these because they're white. So I'm not going to do that. However, now I would like to show you. So I don't know, personally, I like them both. The red one is bright and definitely festive for Christmas. This one I put on sending you sunny thoughts, so that could certainly be a birthday card. And they do fold up. This one's, I might have to trim this one because my corners are just a bit much. And obviously not quite straight, but nobody's going to see that. It will fit in an envelope. But I think I'm going to do that right now. Yes, it would. Maggie says would work great as a birthday card for grandkids. And just going to trim those two because they're, you can probably see they're folding over here. And I don't think it makes a big difference, but it will maybe fold up easier to get in the envelope. So the red one will be somebody's next week after we draw. I did draw for tonight, so don't leave. Well, you can leave, but I do have a name to share afterwards. And then I have some happy cards as well, happy mail. This is the one I did on Friday with with the class Karen taught. So this is just, I'm going to say one of the grays I think I grabbed to stamp it on there, and I did not do the wheels because I haven't found that yet. This is just on colored cardstock. Another colored one, another gray one. I just stamped a bunch of them and punched them out. And then added little verses inside, DSP. I believe there was another, I can't remember now. Was there another box out here, I think? Or and then writing on the back. So another great card. And again, you could use all of those different things you suggested for decorating. Okay, Bonnie has, whoops, how come that happens? Oh, because somebody comments while I'm doing that. I love how the center truck is outlined with a bit of border with the circle DSP. Yes, yeah, you could certainly make it different if you had a wider border, but I'm more and more enjoying using the narrow borders. So I'm just going to set those aside, and I'll bring them back in at the end. Show you my happy meal, and then I'm going to announce some winners. So this card, I'm in a swap with some ladies doing a Case the Catalog. So we purposely picked a catalog page and card and made it and then swapped it. This particular one is from Carla and page 18, the Rocking Horse bundle. And I was showing the ladies today, I said, don't expect this in a card class because look at all the die cuts. Like that would take forever and I would never get the class ready. But what she did, what I thought was really neat, and I had forgot this was possible, she put the card and an envelope inside one of our clear envelopes and mailed it that way. So it came in the mail with her address, mine, but and a stamp. You could see it through, and now I have a card and an envelope. So do any of you do that? Have any of you ever mailed a card like that? One year for Christmas, I mailed all my Christmas cards in clear envelopes um, because I thought it was good advertising, good promotion on my part to let the mail people even know that was happening. This one is done with that gorgeous paper, and it is from page 37, Winter Meadow. Thank you, Janet. So it's got some of the hollies, the deckled circles. This one is from Cheryl, page 39, Sparkling Snowflakes. Make the season sparkle. So she's embossed on here. And some embellishments. This one, my friend Linda, who's on here, thank you again, Linda. Karen's card idea from last week. So you can see more of the little flip ups and the jiggly one in the center. And Linda dropped that off for my anniversary card. So thank you. This one is from Cheryl, and it is done. This is a different swap. No, this is Case the Caddy swap. I did not write in there which page that was, but it looks to me like it is one of the Memories and More cards, because the card itself is, no, take that back. It does have designer paper on it. So another one, this one is from, I think it was Fran. Oh, look at that paper. That is gorgeous. Shining Brightly paper. This is the whole Oh Holy Night Sweet collection. So it has the star and the words behind it. And so you can see by these that anybody who does these swaps from like Cases the catalog, you can get some great ideas. This one's from Judy. Thank you so much, Judy. Every once in a while, Judy sends me a card just because, and I love it. And look at, it's got that same shape, just a little different. So she has, it's a larger diamond, and she has trimmed it to fit, but the paper and the flowers work perfectly. And she used a sticker note on the back so I can use it if I want to, or just keep it for a sample. She did have it in a larger envelope, so that, if you want to call it, is a downside, but I love the card. So, and then these are the ones we did today in the Christmas card class, just to give you an idea of what we do. So we've got some die cuts, some designer paper. I've got the new embossing folder on vellum. So we learned how to attach these first so that we could not show the glue through, and then some more of that one horse open sleigh designer paper that we used for that one. So like I say, anybody is welcome if you want the kits. I do need 2 weeks notice on that to get them to you, but if you want the PDF and use your own things, just let me know on that one, and you can join us as well. So Maggie, oh, Betty, yes, did not know you could mail clear envelopes. They stick together very well. They don't come apart, and they do work very well. So give it a try. Whoops. Again, the comments are going, my card will stand on 3 points. Okay, that's Judy talking to me. Yes, you see that? It does stand on 3 points. Beautiful card, Judy. Thank you so much. This is the card we did last week, again with timeless arrangement dies, which I'm loving more and more. And I take all of the comments from YouTube and Facebook up until, actually it was about 4 o'clock today when I was finally remembered to do it. And the winner for this one is Catherine B. So thank you so much, Catherine. And now I will see if I can switch over. It's always a guessing game. How do I do this? Share my screen, select. I think it's this. So bear with me while I try to remember how the heck to, I think it's that. So as I am, you guys keep chatting. I love to read what you're chatting of. So yes, you should be able to see the draw. 16 entries. So that means 16 different people have commented, and I'm going to draw 5 of them, and I'll try and get those in the mail to you tomorrow. If you have not received a card from me before, please send me, message me your address, your mailing address. Marie, congratulations. And I will, these cards that I send out are not, Kathleen, are not necessarily ones that I have made, but they're ones that I've received in a swap. Again, they're maybe not current product, but they're definitely handmade cards, and I love sharing them with you. So like I say, I love having you here, and I thank you ever so much for taking part and just having a good evening with me. We're at 45 minutes now, so it's a little bit longer than usual, but I think the card was worth it to see, and hopefully you'll make some and share them with us. So love seeing what you guys do. And Brenda. So Brenda, I do not think I have your address, so please be sure you message it to me. And there we go. So I'm going to just card, hopefully. Yes, yes, yes. So good to see all of you. And as always, if you have any questions, concerns, certain designs or techniques you want me to show you, I can certainly learn them. I love learning new things. And as most people have heard me say, the day is not lost if you learn something new. And That's kind of my motto. So thanks for joining me. We'll chat again soon. Bye now.